I met a gypsy.
Yeah, man, 450 classes. Yeah, I mean, our sport is gnarly
Yeah.
right now, just in general.
Well, you were
Yeah.
saying before that you're almost glad that Jet's doing what he's doing because you've spent the last couple of years getting towed by him, and you're just like, see, wasn't me. The
Yeah.
guy's just that good.
Like, yeah, I was, gosh, I tried so hard. And I remember Indy 2022, like that race sticks out to me because I started second behind Jet, and then he was jumping the whoops from the beginning, and I was like, man, I had a skim line, I had a blitz line on the left, but I was like, I know as soon as I show this to him, he's just gonna start blitzing him. And there was a few lines around the track elsewhere that I was able to do, and I was right on him, so I could see what he was doing and what I was doing and what was working better. It was almost like having dart fish in the semi.
Yeah.
But I was like, I couldn't. He's so good, and he had so much speed that I couldn't take my time to pass him. If I'm gonna pass him, I can't just take my time and not give him my line away or something.
Not like
because,
pick a spot because it took everything to stay
and
there.
if the opportunity presents itself, this might be the last time in this 15 minutes that it presents itself. Because I remember watching on the broadcast, I think RC was kind of like, yeah, like Cameron needs to just take his time here. And I was just like rewatching. I'm like, man, I couldn't. Like if that opportunity came, I needed to take it. And I did. I passed him. And sure enough, next lap he started blitzing the whoops. And then I ended up actually following a lapper into the sand. And he got me there. But yeah, I knew like there were so many races where I was like just kind of close, but I'm like, man, he was just far enough ahead to where like, what was he doing? You know, and he was hard to race. He was hard to race, and he's really good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I mean, for all you guys, like even, you know, Levi, like I think it's cool what Levi's doing this year because, I mean, there were times when you see those two race and Levi got a good start and you're like, Levi's fast. Like
Mhm.
Levi's really, really fast. And to see, I mean, yeah, like he just dominated the class over the last couple of years, but it must be a relief to see him
Yeah,
go into
no,
the 450 class and be
It
like,
kind of was,
woo!
but yeah, I was like, man, like I'm glad he's as good as I thought he was. Because
Yeah.
obviously when 2022 more in particular, like he was my main competitor. Like it was in the beginning of Supercross, it was like I felt like I wasn't worried about anyone else, but like trying to figure out how I could be 18. And when you get invested like that, like yeah, I'm glad he was as good as I thought he was because I'm like, man, he is so good. And I'm not sitting here thinking I'm something spectacular, but I was like, man, how's he doing some of the stuff he's doing? And yeah, he's a really good racer.
What is it with his speed?
Obviously, he, as everyone can see, he has exceptional technique on the motorcycle, but his focus under pressure is pretty exceptional, especially for his age. And I think that where he focuses his effort is very specific, very precise, and I think a lot of it also comes from watching his brother for years. I think Hunter gets discredited from what he's done, like for Jet, just because he's watched his brother go through a lot of trial and error from back when they were in MXGP and Jet was 11, you know, and the way that Dazzy kind of keeps a hand on helping those guys, and they do really well at helping each other, and but I don't really know one thing. I haven't ever really been that close to them, obviously.
Yeah.
But just from the outside looking in, yeah, he's got extremely good focus and extremely good talent and technique.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because, I mean, it must be, like, if you think about, let's say you've just got an older brother that's a couple years older and every motor you've ever done in your life was with another dude that was older than you and faster than you to a point. Like,
Totally.
until you got on a big bike and then you ended up, like, that's a pretty insane advantage.
Yeah, that for me, that was my sister.
Really?
Yeah. And that's, I mean, at such a different level than Jet and Hunter when they were racing MXGPs and Jet's in the EMX class. But Yeah, it is like a huge carrot to chase. My sister, I chased her as she was my carrot to chase my whole life, whether it be dirt bike racing or just success in general or how to be a person in general. I've looked up to her since the day I can remember and till today. I racing up until I was on an 85. She was always faster than me.
No way.
Oh yeah.
I didn't even know she rode.
Yep. Like, the first 3 years I went to Loretta's and qualified, I qualified as an alternate. And the only reason we actually made the drive to go there was because my sister would qualify. And
That's
after
so sick.
after the second year that I qualified, because I would go there and get, we could look up my stats, but I would get 25th to 30th just because I'd finish all 3 motos. That's the only reason I'd be in the 30s, like, or in the early or like the low 30s because I'd finish all 3 motos. But beyond that, I was, just barely made it. And I remember after the first couple of years we went, I was an alternate, like maybe the third year, and my sister had qualified and we went, and I was like 4th alternate. And I was going there, I'm like, oh yeah, I'm not racing this year. I'm going to get to play in the creek all weekend. Like, this is going to be the best week.
Fun, yeah,
this is going to be sweet. And then they went up to sign up for my sister, and I was hanging at the camper, riding my BMX bike around, just being a kid. And my dad came back to the camper, and he's like, guess what? And he was all stoked. And he's like, he threw a bib to me. And I remember being like,
no.
Oh, I have to race. Yeah. But yeah, my sister was, she was actually why we got into racing. She made a bet with my dad, or not racing, but just got dirt bikes in general. She made a bet with my dad. I don't remember what it was over. It was like $100 or whatever. And there was a flesh wound 80, KX flesh wound 80 on the side of the road for $200. And she made a bet with my dad, and she had 100, and he split it with her. And that was where dirt bikes started for us.
That is crazy.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
That's literally as grassroots as it gets.
We're excited to announce the launch of our new membership site, gypsytales.com, packed with exclusive content and perks that you won't find anywhere else. This is your chance to become a part of the Gypsy Gang. And as a special bonus, if you sign up to an annual membership, you'll be entered into the draw to win our custom-built TC125. Gypsy Gang.